Hello and welcome back to the show. I am Rivington III, along with Sir Buttkick. It's Steven Kangas. Kangas, how you doing, buddy?
We did a rebrand,
I know,
Riv, okay?
I know.
Sir Buttkick moniker is gone.
Everybody
That's
know
behind
the
me.
transition. There has to be at least one, right?
All right, you can call me Kangas.
But Kangas is what
is
it
the
is
name
now. Absolutely. But I just had to follow you on Twitter, so that's why the other name came into my head.
Yeah, I haven't changed the Twitter handle yet. Do you think I should? Maybe after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems like a good time.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. We're in the game, though. I cannot wait. TSM sitting at 7-7. We have Golden Guardians at 6 and 8. So, can they get themselves to topple the team of TSM? Win condition being Treats. He's going to be on the Tarek. It's a pretty glorious win condition, I'd say, coming into this game.
Yeah, Tarek's definitely one of those champions where you can have the game-defining play. If you get that right ultimate, the Cosmic Radiance comes down, win Golden Guardians, throwing out all their poke, throwing out all their engage, that can suddenly swing the whole fight in the favor of TSM. And I was doing some research. The Kled versus Set matchup, it doesn't come down as much to in lane. There's a slight win advantage over to Kled for just win percentage, but it's less about the 1v1 matchup, and it's more about what Kled can do that Set can't. Right. And when I look at the rest of what Golden Guardians drafted, they have a very strong poke composition between the Ezreal and the Zoe. And then Kled just boosts their already strong engage. So I'm looking for Golden Guardians to try and group up around these objectives, control these choke points around the Dragons and the Rift Heralds with their poke. And then, like I said earlier, if they land that poke, if they get TSM members down, then they can go. But they got to be worried about Treats, like you said, Riv. If he's in the area, it's suddenly so much harder to actually pull that play off.
TSM loved this composition. We were talking about it a little earlier. They've played it with the Zoe, where the Syndra is, still having that Zac engage along with the Tarek, and other options to just throw more people in now with the Callista. So the gauge is far and beyond here for TSM. We'll see if they do get poked out by GG. We were seeing TSM, as I said, 7-7, and GG at 6 and 8 one more time, and that's that playoff zone. These teams are looking to kind of be in that area. You also have the 8 and 6s of EG and 100 Thieves right above them, and Immortals and TL also at 7-7. So probably going to be a few ties between these teams, and these wins are imperative here on the back half.
We're fully expecting some tiebreakers to be played. So Golden Guardians, again, a win here feels so good to actually get that tiebreaker against TSM. So we'll see if they're able to pull it off here. But their strategy, again, is going to be to group TSM. They're going to want to get these solo laners ahead. We saw Speakastar on the top side. He was actually spotted by a ward. I like what Zion Spartan was able to do there. He followed Hard into the jungle. Hard got the ward down, backed for that sweeper lens then. So they're able to track Speaker right now. They should know that he's pathing towards the bot side. This means that Dokla has to be careful. They could look for a play at top side now.
He's going to be pushing up. He does have a ward for himself, but if it's a long way around here for Hard, he can get himself into a sticky situation on top side. A bit of clear for the bottom now as Speaker continues through his jungle. And we did see a bit of aggression there. A nice electrocute proc by Evolved onto a Blazeala just a bit ago, causing those potions to be used in mid. But the minion dematerializer probably keeping him safe at turret so he can just keep farming. Good to see, like you said, though, the solo lanes, if they're going to be winning, it needs to happen now, and Syndra can take control.
And TSM has this push in every single lane. Ooh, look at mid, though.
If not for that Ignite in his back pocket, that might have been even a fight coming in. He doesn't know where the jungler is right now, though. Now he does.
Yeah, Hard spots on the ward. But Evolved actually taking the cleanse. He wants to play defensive in case that Sleepy Troubleful comes in, but they're duking it on the top side. I don't know if Zion Spartan wins this.
I like that. Back and forth. Dokla wants to get himself into cover. He feels like at half bar, Zion Spartan would have had Scarro back. But yeah, I feel like early that's going to work, and then as soon as Zion Spartan gets a bit of movement speed, he can just dodge the haymakers and bear trap on a rope. It's going to be pretty annoying. But Set's annoying. So.
And Hard was also pathing up towards the top side. We saw him spotted on that ward earlier. So I think Dokla, that was a really good decision to back off, say, I could win this 1v1, but Hard was on the top side. He's probably coming for a gank. And Hard's actually invading right now. Little does he know, there's no camps to clear. He's just going to be wasting his time. But, okay, the wolves are there, actually, so he is able to take that.
Good timing, right? It's like
Perfect.
Caster Curse right back at you. And he's actually going to maybe able to walk up the Gromp here as he's clearing out. Looks like he does leave one camp up there, or one little mob up there, and he'll head up towards Gromp. Maybe not for the gank. He's going to see if they can get a dive under the turret, possibly. And Dokla could feel it on this one.
Is
Level
bold.
5 and 4 versus Dokla's 4. Gets the Haymaker shield out. And he'll save for now. Denies that one. And they also get an idea of where Hard is. We'll see how Speaker uses that info.
Yeah, that was an aggressive and you know, possibly unwarranted dive topside. So that's one of the hardest top laners to dive in the entire game.
Yeah.
So Golden Guardians definitely not deterred by that. They went for it, but Dokla doesn't have to burn a summoner spell. At least Golden Guardians doesn't have to either. So they don't lose too much for that. They already were able to counter jungle a little away from Spica on the bot side, or the top side rather. And Hard now gets the first back. The new Bomby Cinder completed. This is patch 10.5. Keep in mind, everybody. So Hard is hitting a very big power spike right now. His ganks will be much more effective.
Oh, that whole thing feels great. I love that new Sunfire and everything.
See, I'm not a tank player, so I haven't really gotten to feel
that was
the
kind of my
effects,
next
but I've definitely
question.
felt them
I was gonna be
inflicted
like,
on
you
me.
play set it all, right? So.
I'm a support player. I'm a dirty enchanter main, so unfortunately, no, I don't get to toy around with that fun item too much.
A little bit of Tarek then. You dabble.
I dabble, yeah.
Blaze Olive has been kind of denied positioning in mid here, but not so much CS unleash power onto him as Evolve uses all that mana. It looks like we'll get it back out of him here for maybe a second buy. He already got a Dark Seal and some boots for himself. So maybe just hangs out and actually keeps the pressure on.
Yeah, he's got to stick around. He can't lose this much CS and XP early on, but he had to burn the heal. So now he's in danger of a potential gank. That's why we see Hard hanging around here, but Speaky's on the bot side. If Hard's hanging around mid, this should be a free dragon picked up for TSM.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Unleash power onto Blaze Olive. You can't come down to fight now. If you use Summoner Heal, you probably want that for a big fight. Little face breaker to Haymaker. Seems like Zion Spartan can kind of just abuse that early aggression as he dives into the true damage. And I'm trying to build him up. Never mind. Gets punched right in the back.
Again, the 1v1's not about Kled hard slapping the set in lane. It's about Kled pushing the wave, getting that early Tiamat, and then getting out of lane, affecting other areas of the map as again, Hard is sticking around topside. Golden Guardians have been wasting some time up there, which has allowed Spica to get a slight jungle advantage. I mean, they already have that dragon, so TSM are a great first start to this game.
Just looking at TSM's weeks, it's been, well, 1-1. Well, every week is 1-1 so far as they move through the split.
The opposite of the LCS team. Look at that.
So just kind of seeing how they ebb and flow through each week, and going back to a lot of this composition, we see a lot of Syndra, a lot of Zoe there for Evolved, so he knows the matchup, kind of dominating in lane a bit right now as a nice dazzle comes down.
Exhaust popped. Golden Guardians, yeah, they have to use the summoner spell. Keith goes back in.
We were looking for him to be a little bit more aggressive, so we can't fault him for these things, right?
He loves his engaged champs. I'll give him that.
See, that wouldn't have been a problem.
And Keith has been looking better throughout the season. Even in LCS when he was starting, his early games are clearly rusty. He wasn't that comfortable in the position, but he's gotten better and better throughout the split. So it's kind of tragic to see him move from the LCS starting spot to the Academy team. But if he can bring that learning and that aggression here, he can definitely help out as a Blaze Olive. Ooh, it's a good chunk onto Evolve. You can land a little bit more of that. You can have control around that mid lane and then look to affect these side lanes. That's what Golden Guardians needs to do. They need to figure out how to get out of this laning phase and group up to utilize the group poke and group engage.
You're not really going to push anybody out of lane with Ezreal too often unless your Nautilus is absolutely hitting every hook in the lane. So you're right. I like that. Get out of the lanes. They already got one Drake down, which isn't too bad. So we're going to have Infernal or Ocean to be the Rift change there. Good fight from Dokla as he gets himself close to turret. 54 to 56 in that lane, and it's actually started to even out a little bit. Another drowsy bubble taken by Evolved as the Blaze goes low on mana. Blue buff usage there as he just starts spitting it out, and they want to fight, but they both go Merc Treads, and it's smart. It's the way you go. You're like, we're gonna fight with defense because we just have that much base power.
Yeah, whoever's the first one to die in this lane will be so far behind. Yeah, it does not feel good as a solo laner to give up that first blood to your lane opponent, but TSM, they don't need to get the first blood. They can just keep controlling these objectives. They got that first dragon. Now they're rotating for this first Rift Herald, and they will get this too. So congratulations, TSM. They're playing the good, clean macro play that, you know, North America, we're known for this, right? Objective control. This is what we're good at.
Absolutely. This is why we wear the party hats, especially because there was no rotation. We see a lot of, even now towards 10 minutes, where it would be the bottom side rotation, but they choose to actually keep the lanes going on GG. Maybe because it was kind of just getting pushed, but it seems to be relatively even in where they were staged, I should say, with minions. 86 to 69 though, so maybe Golden Guardians doesn't want to put themselves into that fight currently with kind of lull in power that they're seeing.
Yeah, they're not really ready for it. Keith's not level 6. He doesn't have the Moby boots either. There was a slight nerf to that. On this patch, it went up to 700 gold.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty impactful for these engaging supports that want to build that early, get around the map, help out their mid laner. He's not able to, and he might even be building towards those Merc treads just to deal with the amount of CC that TSM has on their team. So the strong combination of the Nautilus Ezreal is that Ezreal can really handle himself, just stay in lane, keep farming up while the Nautilus goes and does other things. But it feels like Golden Guardians on this current patch, they kind of crutched themselves a little bit there with Keith not able to hit that item power spike early enough.
And possibly something he obviously has played throughout the years and maybe practiced recently, but this is going to be Gorka's first take on Ezreal for the spring split. A lot of misfortune, and the Kalista was played by him with some Aphelios in there, but now bringing this to the bot lane, it seems like Lost and Treats are able to abuse that a little bit.
But I like to see that from a team too. You know, you had a week off. Exactly. It shows that they've been trying new things. They're not stuck on the old meta 2 patches ago, still playing only Aphelios, Senna, Misfortune. They're trying out new things, seeing if it works. So far, the early game hasn't been going their way, but may they find a fight here.
A hook there onto Treats. He's going to get Fates called out. Watch out for the Sleepy Trouble bubbles. As it calls down Golden Guardians, and TSM look to activate down on that bot side turret. Ooh, almost taken down too. One last plate.
Yeah, the Rift Herald was dropped actually behind the turret. So Golden Guardians were able to hit that eye before it charged. That might have taken down the full turret if they hadn't landed that, but they're still looking for the dive.
Oh my gosh, really going in. Cosmic Radiance comes down. It's going to be Gorka getting hit up first, tanking his Spica, and he's got the Radiance on as he now gets out with that heated up turret aggro. Turret goes down as well as Gorka in that fight.
Yeah, they saw that there's no TP on the top side for Zion Spartan. They timed that well, realizing, okay, we have a great diving composition. Zach has the passive under the turret, plus they have the Taric. So they really weren't in much danger going for that kind of play. And I like to see that decision making from TSM. I'm curious who made that call, whether it be Treats or Spica. We were talking up Treats earlier on, saying he's the win condition shot caller for the team. And that definitely feels like a Taric call right there.
There was a bit of vision clearing. I had eyes focused on bottom, so I didn't see if they had a call on where hard was at the moment. But yeah, that was really well activated. Again, like you were saying, crisp play here from TSM as they seem to be setting things up that Golden Guardians just isn't finding. And up and off goes Zach as Keith almost hits, and Infernal will be the one to change our rift. 2 already in the favor of TSM here to start the game off, and 1-0 in their favor.
And again, this composition's just not really coming offline for Golden Guardians. They haven't gotten Kled out of the top lane. They don't have Moby Boots on the Nautilus. He did go for those Merc Treads, so maybe they can find a team fight that works for them later on in the game. But the early game's all TSM favor. They're 2,000 gold ahead. They have both dragons. They got that first turret, and now they can do the lane swaps. I need the Kalista Taric top side first and get slightly ahead of Golden Guardians, who still have Gorka on the bot side. So this tempo swing for TSM, this is huge for them to ride out with this team comp. They have the engage, they have the ability to just keep the pressure up, and they don't need to scale for any reason. They still have Kalista, who's very strong and approaching up later the Ruin King power spike. So as soon as Lost gets that, boom, TSM's ready to fight over the second Herald, over this third dragon. So this has been a great early game for them, prepping them for success.
Sure, 5-2 plays as well, and it doesn't look like now with the lane swap that Golden Guardians are going to be able to get more plates up there if it is TSM staying. So now TSM get to roam around in the jungle of Golden Guardians, start to encroach that vision a little bit more and figure out how they can start to dismantle them from the inside out. Hard, we haven't seen him engage just yet. We really haven't seen this
teleport play
of Golden Guardians. TSM just seems to be setting these things up right on their front doorstep.
They might still dive this. They have the Zac passive.
Gonna go in. Nice showstopper to the back. Zion Spartan's pulled out of the fight so they can get towards the back line. Gorka's again the focus, and that's gonna be a scatter. The Gorka that takes him down from the hands of Evolved. Treats over the wall as they try to fight on so many fronts. That was awesome. They were literally trying to go to the corners of the earth to get that fight to keep going. I like the Fates call toss. TSM comes up with another fight. 3-0 now.
Yeah, they are just willing to pull the trigger at any time. Doesn't matter that Zion Spartan TP topside. It feels like Gorilla Guardians thought that would be the end of it. They teleported topside to answer that play. Figured, okay, we got the turret here. We don't have to worry, right? But TSM, even without Cosmic Radiance, they still have the Zac passive and just confidence abound. They're willing to go for these crazy plays and they pull it off. That's another kill over to them. Almost 3 at the end of the day if Treats had landed that dazzle onto a Blaze Olive, but they get another turret and TSM are just running the map right now. They haven't lost a single objective. They have all the kills and they are setting themselves up for a quick win here. We're not even 15 minutes into this game, Riv.
They have a composition that can even dive a bit carelessly, right? So you put that composition slightly ahead and then things can be even more careless, but they're playing it really clean. There's a method to the madness right now for TSM, and again, they keep coming back to this composition. It seems like Spica enjoys playing the Zac, being able to engage, and it treats on something that can also engage. These two are never far behind each other.
And TSM immediately set up for this next objective again. They have Spica who can still engage, sticking around this top jungle, just kind of scaring away Golden Guardians, making sure that they can't get that vision control. And then boom, Lost gets top lane priority. They push this out. Eventually Golden Guardians will have to answer, at which point TSM can rotate to this Rift Herald. They're not even waiting for the lane control. They're just going for it immediately. They have all these control wards topside, and they're controlling the vision so well from Golden Guardians, sweeping it all out. So there's really nothing Golden Guardians can do right now. Ideally, they could throw some poke over that wall. They could look for an engage, but they're 3,000 gold behind, and they just aren't set up for that kind of play right now.
That's the look I was about to take, right? Is where does Golden Guardians come back in? And it's from having those lines of vision, they can push up, but we just saw Treats clearing out a few wards, going through, killing that fog of war that a Blaze Olive could use, that Gorica can fire from, that maybe Hard can throw his ultimate from. And again, just able to move power in numbers as there's a few steps ahead here. And they seem to have Golden Guardians number. We've seen games change over only 15 minutes in. It's a 3K gold lead, and we've seen bigger, and we've seen bigger comebacks. So just a lot of stuff that Golden Guardians can buy some time with, and they'll be a little bit more.
It's just so tough when TSM is playing paint by numbers League of Legends.
Yeah, right.
They're having such a clean macro control of the map. We saw them get that top Herald. They immediately sent 3 members down around the Dragon, trying to get vision control around here, because that's going to be the next objective. They can throw the Rift Herald mid, kind of get Golden Guardians going, or they can just engage.
Oh, the flash! Oh, he tries to pull them back together. Gets Keith, though, in a lockdown, so they're able to follow up the kill from Dokla. And now the rest of Golden Guardians still wants to poke. They don't want to lose this turret just yet, and they're trying to take a few down. Cosmic Radiance comes in. He says, yeah, bro, let's go. As you see the glasses fall, and none of the TSM members follow. It's just going to be Keith. But these one team member fights being down for Golden Guardians is just being the domino effect that TSM's able to win with.
Yeah, TSM, they didn't need to win the entire team fight. Just getting that one kill puts them in a position to take this dragon, but Goldians still want to fight.
Dokla, that was a bit abrupt. He actually takes Hard to the backside of the fight. Gorica goes down immediately as Zion Spartan in the middle of the fight, trying to do what he can, but Scarl doesn't even want a piece of that. And now Blaze Olive, he's going to have to hop, skip, and jump out of this one. I do not know if he's going to make it. Instantly locked in, pulled in. Face breaker. How can you do face breaker to that? It's just too cute. But goes down, and Lost is going to pick up a kill for himself. Everybody, I guess except for Spica, has a kill so far, but he's on assist duty, and it is 7-0 for TSM.
TSM is on the path for a perfect game right now. This Academy roster, it definitely seems like they made the most of their time off. Yeah, they're 7-0, 3 dragons to 0 right now, and just dominating Golden Guardians around the map. Golden Guardians went for that fight. Credit to them. They took them a while to realize that eventually we have to group up. We have to actually look for something against this TSM composition, but it just didn't work out too well for them there. Interesting to note, Zion Spartan also going for the Blade of the Ruin King. Typically, I see Kleds build a little more bruiser, try and be a little bit more of a front line, but probably trying to just assassinate these squishier members, I would assume. Yeah, it was also Blade of the Ruin King on Dokla.
I was interested by that. Maybe they're just going gentleman's agreement once they went to it. Obviously not, but hey, fight it out. The attack speed.
Hey, the 80 carry has one. That looks fun.
Yeah, I especially thinking you'd get like a Bramble Vest early against Dokla, but maybe there just isn't kill potential from both sides there if the way Dokla is playing it. We'll see. Middle turret's going to go down. You got Demolish and you got Rift. Demolish is going to be up on that as wasn't even used, so next turret could be available as Dokla getting in there to rock that one with the right hook. and they are on Soul Point. This is going to be Infernal coming in, and they're doing it almost as soon as it can happen at this point. It's going to be a steal on the blue buff. Looks like they're able to get that away from Hard. As Keith now trying to work the other side of the map. It's like, hey, if we can stay away from them, that's where we can clear wards. We're safe over here right now.
The problem is that they have no vision control over on the bot side.
Yep.
So yeah, Hard unfortunately shows up, realizes I don't have a lot of jungle to clear right now. TSM already took it all. And TSM, this is some clean League of Legends. I'm very impressed with what they're showing up on the Rift with here. They're 7,000 gold ahead, 3 dragons to 0, and no objectives lost. They should theoretically be able to clear this one out. Again, if Golden Guardians have something in the pocket, it's going to be a pig. It's going to be utilizing this Zoe, maybe a trouble bubble over the wall. They have a lot of range damage. So if they can catch out one member, specifically Lost or Evolved that I'm looking at, and kind of lock them down, just burst them in one big combo, that's how Golden Guardians have their best chance at coming back in my eyes. But TSM, they're not giving them their opportunity. They're controlling the vision, they're staying back and letting Spica, letting Treats go in and actually take these wards down. So Golden Guardians, kind of a waiting game. Maybe they can find something around this Baron.
You can see Golden Guardians, the way they're building towards that and the trinkets that they have. You know, instead of taking the road of, hey, we're going to try to clear wards as much, they say, no, we need a far side alteration on a Blaze and Goracle right now so they can get their picks in, because we need picks. Clearing is fine if we can get there and leave and zero somebody out. So they're taking that, like, in the moment chance, which is even more risky. And hopefully it pays off for him. Keith finds himself a little too far from home. Is that really too far? Oh my word, he's only steps off the base gate and he's gonna go down. TSM's able to act like that, and you didn't even really see Lost, but he hops onto the screen almost immediately along with Treats. And Spica, top side of Blaze Olive. Oh, back and forth as Krug gets used to block. Get down, Mr. President. As Evolved gets out safely, and if Baron's up.
That Krug's got some sunglasses on.
Yeah,
he's got a hand on the ear. Like,
he got his Treats. They're even onto Baron. They know that the game control is so strong. This is probably just a fast turn, and most of them can make it over the wall anyways.
Yeah, Golden Guardians trying to check it with the Ezreal, maybe go for Miracle Steal, but Hard's here.
Hard. All right, so he gets a second of vision.
He did it.
They hit it. Gave him vision.
Oh, Evolves on the top side. He's going to try to bully Hard away from this.
Nice. Oh, Blaze Olive gets thrown in. That's the 1-2 fight. Like I said, they all go to the wall. That was instant, like a freight train.
Ooh. That was hard to watch. If Golden Guardians, they thought, okay, maybe we can just dance around this. Maybe we can go in for the steal. But TSM were not interested in a 50-50. They said, no, we're just going to take the fight. Like you said, all of them can get over that wall. Lost pulled Treats over and said, you're coming with me, man. And they just full engage on Golden Guardians.
Love it. It's like the literal get in my backpack. So they're going to be able to take this Baron down. Dokla on the run here.
Maybe a play finally from Golden Guardians.
Flashes over the wall. He's trying to be cheeky here, but he is going to go down in the end as he's taken out by Zion's Heart. That healing was coming up fast with the Blade of the Rune King there. Almost got a few more punches in to make it count, but he goes down, and there it is, Kangas. The first death for TSM here on week 8.
Yeah, no longer a perfect game. They were chasing it. Yep. But unfortunately, Dokal a little too far forward. He made Golden Guardians work for it, though, right?
Running that fast, you're bound to trip, right? There's a point when you just don't see that sidewalk.
Spica.
He's trying to be a one-man army. Not too much follow-up now. All the ults were used in the... Pushed out a little bit as we catch back up. TSM's able to get Dragon control. This is the Soul.
Dokla's got
we'll
TP.
see if they're able to do it here. 10-1. Will they try to deny TSM their Soul Drake?
Watch for Dokla flank.
For Dokla around the outside. He just teleports to mid lane. That's going to be the Drake going down, and it is in favor of TSM. Spica goes forward as they're going to be able to take down Hard in the fight. They are looking for the rest of the members of Golden Guardian Kangas, and they are running for the base.
Yeah, unfortunately, Golden Guardians cannot contest that Dragon. They thought they might have had the numbers advantage in a 5v4, but Dokla teleporting to the mid lane forced them to retreat up to the right rather than back towards their mid lane. This allows TSM to not only get the Dragon, but they also still have priority mid lane. So they get this bottom turret, they can push in mid and bottom at the same time. Golden Guardians do not have any plays left.
Like both, like you said, mid and bot getting hit up. Top lane doesn't have to be worried about, so maybe a bit of breathing room to get an engage on. Keith over the wall. with the flash. They take down Evolve. Second kill coming through as it gets a little careless from TSM. Keeps going down quite hard here as Treats to Speak able to do a bit of damage.
Lost untouched.
Dokla is trying to be Yokla inside the base right now as he goes for the game, set, and match, but that one's not going to work out for him too well. He goes down, and it is going to be the rest of the team pulling back. A little too, is that overzealous, I'd say? I was looking for a word there.
Yeah, overeager, I would put it. TSM, they had like 3 successful turret dives throughout this game. They figured, oh, let's just go for another one. Why not?
Oh my word. Treats is able to walk out of that one. He finds Lost. He says, yeah, we might have made a mistake there, but they're still so far ahead that we're more testing the waters as well going into that fight. And Golden Guardians, they are there and ready to feed in those waters. They were hungry to stop that middle inhibitor from going down. So turret still stands, but it's only a few hits away.
They still have so much control over this game. So even though that was a slight misstep, dove a little too far, they weren't focusing on the same people, and luckily Lost was pretty much untouched throughout the whole fight. If Golden Guardians were able to get on Lost like they got on Evolved, that's suddenly a lost team fight for TSM and a way for Golden Guardians to get back into this game. Dokla does provide a lot of damage, but the primary damage threats are going to be Evolved and Lost. Golden Guardians have to find a way to take both of them down. So at least they caught out Evolved. He was a little caught out from his team. He didn't have flash up anymore to get over that wall. So congrats to Golden Guardians. They finally found the pick that they've been looking for 24 minutes, but it just might be a little too late.
A way to go. I've always said this when I cast with Kobe is like, imagine somebody coming across with a bag of money worth 8,000 and just hitting you. That's got to be pretty heavy. That's got to hurt. You don't want to get hit with that. And this is exactly what TSM has available to them right now is money bags. Surplus of items. They're able to finish on 2 right now while it's still being pieced together on the side of Golden Guardians. So it is making it tough. But again, it seems like a trial composition for Golden Guardians coming into week 8 here to throw teams off balance. The Kled, the Ezreal coming in for Gorica for the first time in Spring Split, and being a bit taken apart here by TSM as they once again gauge under their turrets inside the base of Golden Guardians, and it's going to be the inhibitor going down. Right one, I believe, is going to follow soon after as Dokla puts some work onto that. And Kangas, I think Golden Guardians may be out of this game soon.
Yeah, TSM just have to put the final crossing their T's, dotting their I's right here. They're not even going to go back and take that top turret. They're just going right for the end.
Oh, into a Blaze Olive. He goes for hard. The tank is member almost. Cosmic Radiance goes down. This looks like it's going to be the Nexus coming in for TSM as they want to win the first game of Week 8 in the Academy. And it may be just that. 13-4 as they put quite a few kills up. 10, I believe, before losing one of their own members in an almost perfect game. And now they're going to get the final touches down. The Nexus is open. Lost could go down here. He's got a deathless game, and he's going to be able to live. Oh, the Ignite's on, but he's able to get a few more shots down. He lives. The final touches on the Nexus go in, and TSM take the win over Golden Guardians.
That was a brutal final team fight for Golden Guardians to have to fight through. TSM were so far ahead. They had so much advantage, and they were able to clean it or close it out cleanly. Yeah. All dragon secure. It didn't lose a single turret other than a few, sketchy plays where they got caught out by Golden Guardians. That was pretty much a flawless game from TSM.
That was absolutely awesome. The stuff we like to see. Quick, clean. Teams really haven't been offset by a bit of the break. Obviously, being in, we get to play games, so that's been what they've been doing apparently, and really honing that Zac and Taric composition. It has to be seen. They've used it over and over again, and TSM starting to rack up some wins with it.
And it was good to see Golden Guardians try some new things. Both teams opting for the new Blade of the Ruin King. There was that change, which buffed the damage percentage on melee champions a little bit, but I didn't expect that to really show up in pro play. It felt like a small enough amount that it wouldn't mean too much. But both top laners wanted to do it. And again, when I'm looking at Zion Spartan and the Kled in particular, it definitely left a lot to be desired. He was getting popped pretty quickly in those team fights. I think having a little bit of a tanky stats would have helped out a lot. You're able to get in and help your team go for those engages, which Golden Guardians weren't going for. He was constantly stuck in a side lane in a 1v1 against Dokla, and that's not what you want to be as the Kled. You want to be able to join your team, help out with the hard engage of a Nautilus and Sejuani. And unfortunately, We never really saw that come to fruition until they were already defending their inhibitor turrets. So it's a little too late for Golden Guardians at that point, but there's signs of life for this new roster. They have Keith in as a starting support.
Right.
And I think overall, there's some bright spots that they can look at here, especially when it comes to that draft. Just decision making in the game that can be cleaned up a little bit.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Kangas, that's going to be game 1. TSM's going to move to 7-8. That's going to be a 6-9 for Golden Guardians. Still not out just yet, but they are going to have to do a bit of work to get themselves into a position to steal a spot and to playoffs. We are going to be stepping away to set up game 2. That's Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves Academy. Don't go anywhere.